Welcome to PM Movie Recaps. Today's pick is a drama and romance of 1994, Forrest Gump. If you're ready, let's enjoy the video. A bird feather is flowing in the wind. The feather passes through a church, a car, in a man's shoulders. It almost touched the road but ended up leaning on a man's dirty rubber shoes. The man who was wearing the dirty rubber shoes gently grabbed the feather and looked at it with such amazement in his eyes. He opened his suitcase, grabbed a book, and placed the feather inside the book. It was in Georgia in the year 1981. The man earlier was Forrest Gump. He was sitting on a bench at a bus stop, having his suitcase and a box of chocolates. Forrest began to introduce himself to a newly arrived woman who was reading a magazine, and offered her some chocolates. Forrest began telling about her mom's quotation. "My mama always said, life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get," he said. Then grabbed some chocolates. He compliments the woman's rubber shoes. Then, he began remembering his first pair of shoes. The young Forrest and his mother were in the hospital, fitting a pair of leg braces for aligning a curved spine, and he cannot walk properly. The family physician said to his mother that Forrest has strong legs but a weak spine. He was named after a Civil War Confederate General Nathan. They were now traveling back home, but it takes a quarter mile before they reach their house. It was only him and his mom who were living in their house. They let the other rooms be rented and it became their source of income. Mrs. Gump was always reminding him that he was not different from others. The next day, young Forrest and his mother went to school for enrollment. Principal Hancock told Mrs. Gump that young Forrest is different because he has a below-average IQ of 75. Principal Hancock showed an IQ chart and told Mrs. Gump that his son's IQ level belongs to the below and not even to the normal. The principal also stated that a student must have an average of 80 to be admitted to the school. Principal Hancock was suggesting enrolling young Forrest to enroll him in a special school, but Mrs. Gump insisted that he doesn't need to enroll young Forrest in any special school because Forrest can have the same opportunity as the other boy kids have. Still, Principal Hancock denied his enrollment. That night, Mrs. Gump and Principal Hancock had sexual intercourse, and young Forrest got accepted into the local elementary school after that. Before going to sleep, Mrs. Gump was reading a book to young Forrest asked about vacation where his father was. Mrs. Gump and young Forrest didn't feel that they were only the people there because there are many tenants. One morning, one of the tenants, the young Elvis Presley played by Peter Dobson and voiced by Kurt Russell, was playing an acoustic guitar and young Forrest loves it. He even danced to the beat of the music. One night shopping, he saw the same man dancing the same steps he did while listening to the beat of the music. After a few days, young Forrest was now waiting for the school bus and Mrs. Gump was cheering up his son. When the school bus arrived, young Forrest introduced himself to the lady school bus driver. Young Forrest climbed up and looked for the vacant seat. At first, some kids were ignoring Forrest until a young girl offered the vacant seat beside her. Forrest said that besides his mom, Jenny was the next girl who asked questions about him, and he thought that Jenny's face looks like an angel. After that, young Jenny and Forrest can't be separated. They were like carrots and peas. Their hangout area was a big tree. Jenny was teaching Forrest how to climb while Forrest was teaching Jenny how to dangle. Jenny was helping Forrest on how to read. Sometimes, they were only in the tree waiting for the stars to come out. Forrest treated Jenny as his most special friend. One morning, 3 kids began to throw stones at Forrest while he was with Jenny. The 3 kids were also saying mean things and mocking Forrest. One of them throws something to Forrest that he stumbles. Jenny said that Forrest should run, but the 3 kids chased Forrest. Jenny was continuing shouting for Forrest to run, and little by little Forrest's leg braces broke. The 3 bullies didn't catch him because he runs quickly. From then on, he began to run. One time, he was running to Jenny's house to look for her. He was worried because Jenny didn't go to the school bus. Jenny's father was abusing her and her sisters. That time, Jenny and Forrest went on a cornfield to hide and pray while her father was following and looking for them. Jenny was praying that she turns into a bird so she can fly away. Forrest recalled his mother's words that God is mysterious. Even though he didn't turn Jenny into a bird, but the police rescue her and send her to her grandmother, which makes Forrest happy because Jenny was net to him. There are nights that Jenny was sneaking into Forrest's house because she was scared. Jenny was sleeping beside Forrest. Jenny and Forrest's friendship grew up until their high school days. Forrest was still being bullied by their classmates, but Jenny was always saying to Forrest that he should run. The bullies were following Forrest with their pickup truck. Forrest continued to run and tried to lose track of them by turning to the open field and jumping in a fence. Jenny was also following them to see what will they do to Forrest. The bullies still managed to follow Forrest, not until Forrest entered a football rugby game. He reached college by playing football rugby at the University of Alabama in the year 1963. He also witnessed the stand in the schoolhouse door by Governor George Wallace. Forrest returns a dropped book to a woman. After some time, Governor George Wallace filed candidacy for the position of the presidency, but the governor got shot. Jenny also went to an all-girls school. Forrest always visits her when he has free time. One rainy night, Forrest was waiting for Jenny, having a box of chocolates for her. A car has arrived in the parking lot of the school canteen. One of the people inside the car was Jenny. She was with a college student named Billy who was Jenny's boyfriend. Forrest misunderstood that Jenny and Billy were canoodling. Forrest beats Billy, that provokes Jenny and Billy's relationship to break up. Forrest gave the chocolates and informed Jenny that he'll be heading back to his school, but Jenny insisted and brings him to her dormitory. Jenny gave him a towel and let Forrest remove his clothes because they were both soaked in the rainwater. Jenny was telling that she was dreaming of becoming a famous singer. She was dreaming of playing an acoustic guitar in front of people. Jenny asked if Forrest was with a girl before. Then, Jenny removes his brassiere and exposes her bare breasts. She even guided Forrest's hands to touch her breast. She eventually wears again her brassiere and clings her arms to Forrest's neck. After a few months, Forrest was now near to his college graduation. He didn't feel that because he was busy playing football rugby. Their team was invited to the White House and meet President John F. Kennedy. Everyone is excited due to the food they'll be serving. Forrest grabbed only a Dr. Pepper and he finished 15 bottles of it. After a few months, U.S. President's brother was shot at a hotel. Forrest was now at his graduation ceremony. He was given a flyer about military enlistment. At the military induction, he was yelled by the driver and experienced that no one wants him to sit beside them. Until a man named Benjamin Buford Blue, also known as Bubba, played by Michael T. Williamson. Forrest and Bubba became best partners. During the basic training, they were taught about how to stand up, assemble a gun, take care of their combat shoes, and many more. One night while Forrest was on his bed, he suddenly misses his mom and Jenny. One of his co-soldiers gave him a Playboy magazine and saw Jenny, one of the models, wearing her college sweater. He was hired in a strip club under the alias Bobby Dylan. Jenny's dream of singing in front of people with an acoustic guitar was fulfilled, but some customers of the club were sexually harassing her. Forrest rescued Jenny from the customers. He confessed to Jenny that he loves him and also his farewell because Forrest will be sent to Vietnam. He promises that he'll be writing here all the time. He also takes the opportunity to bid farewell to his mother. Forrest and Bubba were sent to an infantry division in the Mekong Delta region and met Lieutenant Dan Taylor. Being enlisted as a soldier, Forrest and Bubba experienced the life of the countryside, being very alert on the battlefield. They also experienced that 4 months straight of rain day and night. Forrest and Bubba agreed that they'll be having a shrimp business together. Forrest was writing letters for Jenny almost every day, telling her what he was doing and his new experiences during the training and the actual war. One day, the rain stopped and they were at the battle area. Their platoon was attacked. Lieutenant Dan and his team were now pulling back. When he reached the safe zone, he was looking for Bubba. He went back to look for him, but he saw his other co-soldiers, including Lieutenant Dan. He was getting scared already. After saving Lieutenant Dan, Forrest went back to look for Bubba, but he saw Bubba badly injured and died eventually. Forrest got wounded at buttocks while Lieutenant Dan loses his both legs. While having their leisure time, one of the soldiers taught Forrest how to play ping pong and eventually loves playing it. He was awarded a Medal of Honor by President Lyndon B. Johnson. During the anti-war on the Pentagon rally, Forrest was shortly reunited with Jenny, who became a drug addict hippie. Also, Forrest blossomed his passion for ping pong and even had an interview along with John Lennon. He spent his New Year's Eve in New York City with Lieutenant Dan. He was invited again to the White House and met President Richard Nixon. After being discharged from the Army, Forrest went back to Greenbow and endorses ping pong paddles. He went to Bubba's family and Bubba's tomb. He even fulfilled his promise to Bubba that they'll be putting up a shrimp business, but he was with Lieutenant Dan. But eventually went back to his mother because she had cancer. He improves their community and gave Bubba's family their shares. His new job was the groundskeeper. One morning, Jenny went to Forrest and they had a great time together. But that night, Jenny went to Forrest's room and they make love to each other. Unfortunately, Jenny left him, and being heartbroken, Forrest was running for 3 years and became famous again before going back to Greenbow. Going back to the recent year, Forrest revealed that he received a letter from Jenny who invites him to visit her. He was finally reunited with her childhood love. Jenny introduces their son. Jenny admitted to Forrest that she had an unknown virus. Then, Forrest and Jenny got married and Lieutenant Dan attended it with his fiancée. After a few months, Jenny died. Forrest Sr. spends his time being with his son and sending him off to his school bus at the first day of school. But before leaving, please make sure that you click subscribe and turn on the notification so that you can enjoy watching more videos like this.